Okay, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So my name is Nick Hamidi bin Muhammad with metric number 1712475. Would like to present to you about my FYP project called Snatch. Okay, before we start, I want to brief the flow of my presentation. Okay, my presentation will be divided into two parts. The first half of this video, I want to explain about my project briefly so that all of the examiners will have a bit understanding on my project that I work on. Okay, don't worry, we will refer to my poster so that no one will left behind. And I hope all of you will get ready because we want to go deep into my project. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, for my FYP project, I developed an apps. These apps are mainly functioning to ease user keep track on their calorie intake for every single day. And yeah, I know my title are quite boring and quite catchy, but not until you read about an machine learning calorie counter. And yes, again, I know you will get excited after hearing about words machine learning. Okay, let's check out how the machine learning works. But before that, we will go through the problem and the objective first. Okay, so if you heard about calorie, of course the main reason is to cope with unhealthy lifestyle. Even me myself, I really don't even care about my calorie intake, and yeah, that's the main problem for Malaysian people. Okay, so the next one is even though there are a lot of calorie counter apps in the App Store and Play Store, they are still lacking of Malaysian food set. And even if they have Malaysian food data set, they are not utilized the existence of machine learning. Okay, so for my objective for this FYP projects, I want to study the machine learning mechanism, especially for food image detection, and apply it to calculate our daily calorie intake. Okay, I know all of you are waiting on how the machine learning works in my apps, so just relax and we are almost there. Okay, let's move on. During my FYP1, I already collect some data to use for system requirement, and I collect them by reviewing 3 apps, and also I conduct a questionnaire survey. So to cut it short, after collecting the data, I plan to include a sign up and login feature so that user can access on any Android device, as well as will reducing their memory usage. So the application also should have calorie goal so that user know how much calorie that they need to take every day. On top of that, these apps also need to have a Malaysian food data set, and of course as well as implementing the machine learning. Okay, so now this is the real question: how machine learning works. As I mentioned earlier, I'm using image recognition to detect the food. So in my apps, there's a function in my apps where user can take a picture of their food. After snap a picture, system will store the food image in the form of array. Okay, so this array forming from every single color of that particular image, and then after they collect the array, they will compare the taken image arrays with the food model arrays, and then after that it will return the highest probability food as a result. And then within the result, we know that several data in the result, such as calorie, value for that food, and many more. Okay, so yeah, that's it. That's the machine learning part. And of course, I'm not doing my own machine learning algorithm, but instead of doing on my own, I'm just borrowing a library called, I'm not borrowing, I'm just using an open source of machine learning algorithm, which is called TensorFlow Lite. Yeah, I think some of you might heard about this because this is quite popular among developers. So this is their specialty, and they also have a very good community. So to cut in short, In order to detect the food, you will take the photo and the apps will compare the photo, and yeah, you get the details of the food, you get the calorie value of the food. Okay, to have more understanding, let's jump to the second half of this video. We will look into the apps as well as use cases for user. Okay, so we will start testing the apps, and I will go through the apps one by one as well as referring to use case diagram. Okay, so for these apps I use Visual Studio Code as compiler and using Flutter framework with Dart as my coding language. So I will start the apps. Okay, cool. So for the first use case, I will register myself. For registration, I'm using file-based authentication feature and using a strict requirement for password. So let me put here my Gmail, gmail.com, and my password is okay, cool. So I tap the register button. Yeah. Okay, so we had jumped into the setup pages. The first one, I need to pick a profile photo, so I'm going to take a selfie. So please don't mind me. Okay. Usually I don't like to take the selfie, but I need to. So yeah. So the next one is I need to key in these details, and let's pick name. My name is Midi and my age is 24. Gender is male. So next. So more details to come in. My weight is 63 and my height is 169. And I'm not so active, so I will put slightly active. So I put submit, and yeah, so it's okay, and we navigate to homepage. So as you can see here, it will display the calorie needed, and at the bottom of the page, you can see that it will show your food list when you key in some food. So we jump to the use case for adding food. So we need to tap on the camera icon. So in this page, if there's no image, you can add food. So let's take a photo. So here I get mee goreng. So let's try to take a photo. So it is also it's not the eye, so we need to retake it for a better angle. Yeah, so it's mee goreng. So it is mee goreng. So I need to add the food. So yeah, we success adding the food. So okay, cool. So I click OK, and it will update your calorie intake, and also it shows you have already eaten mee goreng. Yes, let's jump to the profile page. So this is a use case for viewing profile page. So as you can see here, it will show the calorie history, it will show the week tracking, and of course we just see one data here, but we'll change. I will change to my own account that I created for quite long to see what we get there. So I need to log out. So these apps are quite helpful here. I'm not pressing myself, but you just see how magical it is. Yeah, it's okay. So let's try to add another food. I'll say what we have here. I have pictures of roti canai. So is this roti canai? It is roti canai. So we add food. So it's just working perfectly as expected. Okay. So it's working. Let's try to edit profile. Okay, so you can see here, as you can see here, you can see my calorie history and also weight tracking. So because I register for quite a long time, so it shows my tracking for every single day. Okay, let's try to edit profile. You see here, my name is Hamidi. I changed to Hamid. My age is 24. My height is 169. My weight is up to 80, let's say. So my activity level is not active at all. So yeah, we click the save, and yeah, you can see it will update, and now I can keep track on my weight. So I forgot something. Next use case is deleting food. So if you are miss at food or you incorrectly adding food, you can just simply delete by tapping the food card. It will automatically reduce your calorie. So let's try to delete. Pop up delete food. Attempt to delete. Yeah, that's. So lastly, there's a hidden feature that I just implemented. If you taken calorie more than 2000 of calorie goal, 200 of calorie goal, you will get a warning. Let me just simply change it in database so that you can see the pictures. I'm trying to put 3000. Okay, as you can see here, it shows completed, but with a warning. Warning, you have overtake 861 calorie value. Click here to see suggested calorie burn. So if I click here, it shows you the. Okay, so despite all of my successful development, there are some fallback in these apps. As I mentioned, I'm using image recognition, so it will not detect the food portion. Means you can eat as much as you can, but you still have a same value of calorie. So it will not it is a major fallback. So I hope any potential FYP student will continue my project and enhance this application. So that's pretty much about my presentation. So thank you and have a nice day. Assalamualaikum.